Today I'm going to do a crusty bread loaf in the camp oven. It's a 12-inch camp oven. It's a really simple recipe, not very many ingredients. It's 4 cups of self-raising flour, a sachet of yeast, 2 tablespoons of sugar to activate the yeast, half a tablespoon of salt, and 1.5 to 2 cups of water, just enough to allow the dough to bind. Mix all of the dry ingredients in a bowl and then slowly add the warm water and mix to form the dough. Then cover the bowl and allow it to rise for 1 hour. After an hour, knead the dough by folding and punching on a floured surface for about a minute. Then form a dough ball and place it in a lightly greased camp oven, and then put the lid on to allow the dough to rise for a further 45 minutes. After the second rise of 45 minutes, it's time to add the heat. About 6 heat beads beneath and 12 to 15 on the lid of the camp oven, and things should be done in 25 minutes. And that's the fourth. I have 1 regular sachet of yeast, and then 2 tablespoons of sugar to help activate that stuff. I've already put in 1/2 tablespoon of salt, and now I'll start adding water and mixing it all together. Now we just start mixing that all together to make the dough. Okay, it's important that the water is warm. I didn't mention that earlier, but it's really important to use warm water. We're all mixed up now. We've got a nice dough. Just a little spray of oil or something around the bowl to help the risen dough come out afterwards before you knead it. That's about it. We'll put a cloth on the top of that and let that rise for an hour. After an hour, we'll see how well this has risen. Ooh, very nicely. Look at that. It's all fluffy.
Fill the bowl. This is going to be good bread.
I wonder if it's going to pop when I... Yep. Oh yeah, she's nice and gassy. Lovely. So the next thing we do is turn it out onto a floured board, and we'll knead it for a minute. Also fold and punch for 1 minute. Ooh, that feels good. After a minute of kneading and folding, I'll put it in the camp oven to rise for the last 45 minutes before we put it on the heat. Before I do that, I'll just give the camp oven a quick spray of non-stick so that the bread's easy to get out after it's cooked. Doesn't have to be real heavy, just enough to stop it from sticking. While this rises for 45 minutes, I'll now get the heat beads that I'm going to use to cook it with lit and ready for cooking. We're 45 minutes on from putting it in for the second rising, and let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, it's risen quite nicely. We're about to go onto the heat. For the cooking part of it, I'm going to have, I've heated up 18 heat beads or pieces of charcoal, so I'm going to have 6 below and 12 on top. We want plenty of heat on top to make the crispy crust on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then we'll put the rest on top. Just spread them out evenly on the top. It's looking pretty good. So that's going to take about 25 minutes before we stick a wooden skewer in it to test. Time to unveil. It's been on for 25 minutes. You can smell it. It's beautiful. Oh yes. Come in and have a look at that baby.
Oh my, gorgeous.
Let's do the stab test. You heard that crispy? Not a thing on it. We'll do the hollow tap. Yep, she's done.
Look how gorgeous that is. Yummy, Grant.
That couldn't have turned out any better if I'd tried. I was trying, but I couldn't have made it better. It looks great. Hopefully yours works out for you too, and it tastes just as good as it looks.